This idea of transmitting value or transmitting ownership of some scarce digital good at a distance with no trusted third party is genuinely novel.
The reason why so many people in this audience feel weird about cryptocurrency is because the banks didn't invent it.
Digital currency is now becoming an investable asset class. Blockchain technology is real, it's not going away.
Potentially you can use this technology to actually issue and transfer any type of value.
The world now has the ability to construct sort of an internet for value exchange.
That doesn't rely upon big vaults and big buildings, and puts it all in the cloud, which
instead of exchanging messages, you're essentially reassigning values on a ledger. And those units on the blockchain are called Bitcoin.
Well, who do you designate as the overseer of it? How are consumers adequately protected? How are they adequately informed?
What's really important to have things done is to identify a common purpose, because that is, and it goes deep in the guts, that is what brings people to working collectively and producing shared value.
So you're saying you want to change as an organization, but you're not prepared to invest in people's capabilities to do something differently.
Cryptocurrencies and money may not be interested in governments, but governments are really interested in money.
For regulators, you get so much more transparency. It's so much easier to track sort of degrees of separation tools in real time. We think it actually shortens the time it takes to catch the bad guys.
Certain governments are embracing the opportunity for technology and innovation.
The enormous computational power that's behind it. It is the largest and most secure distributed network in the world.
Networks are completely the new way to think about customers, about innovation, about organizations. But you have to learn to understand the flow of information.
I find actually when I talk to banks, they often talk about manufacturing and distribution. And I was absolutely astonished to hear somebody talk about manufacturing in finance. It just blew me away.
Software is allowing people to be pulled out of the interface between banks and corporate and institutional customers.
Technology should help. Everything should be automated.
Banks, above all other sectors, have natural platform advantages.
Every industry also needs to shift towards platform thinking.
But there's a tussle between privacy on the one hand and bringing people into this cashless society, which has huge benefits.
The startup challenge is evolving in the right direction, hooking up startups with bankers, with the financial industry.
A bank as they exist now might really be not needed anymore, and there will be other institutions doing that.
The lines between industry are just blurring, right? What it meant to be a bank 200 years ago is really different than what it means today.
The banking industry has been extremely slow to embrace the digital revolution.
And when you actually marry funds and the corporates together, you can see that there's going to be a number of conflicts.
And for many of them, it's being part of something that's bigger than themselves.
Can Bitcoin or the blockchain or distributed ledgers aid the banks?
We now have the tools. This stuff is not going away.
This is global, and the industry is not waiting.
It's pointing the way to, I think, a more efficient future for the financial system itself.
You don't have to be worried, but you should be. The next competitor could be a 27-year-old kid with a hoodie.
It actually lies in your hands. It's up to you. You can't just wait.
I think we should be setting the bar higher. I think you should be challenging technologists to engage with society, to work out where to set the dial, and then to build a system that delivers what society wants.